Hello, the idea of this video is to show what we have at version 27 of December for this default flight in Kerbal Space Program 1.11. So as usual, we will type 03 to go into orbit of Earth. Of course, Falcon 9 cannot do anything else. At least at these versions, of course. So right now we have the tower cleared, so we are in the first phase liftoff, where we are aiming to 50% of maximum dynamic pressure, which was achieved a few seconds ago. So we are in the phase which is called launch thrusting, so because we are launching and at some time correcting the thrust, as you can see, in order to avoid drag losses. So once we passed the maximum dynamic pressure, max Q, which is the now, so we will return to 100% and then pass the Mach number 1 and now 1.2. And 1.2 it's a very major milestone because it's when the Falcon is considered supersonic, because all the airflow around the Falcon it's supersonic and not just part of the airflow like in Mach 1.0. So what there are some changes also here in the flames. I mean, this is not completely new, but once it's the first video after more than 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks from now, so I'm just recapping the changes. So now we are at the Ascent Phase. Okay, at this phase, the increase of speed, it's very rapidly, and also the increase of apoapsis. Okay, in a real mission of SpaceX, normally apoapsis is about 150 kilometers. But once this satellite that we have in orbit is so light that we have slightly bigger apoapsis. So now we have the stage. So I switched the vessels, and now stage 2 will do its way, and I'm just putting both consoles open now in order to allow us to check both. So while stage 2 is making their way to orbit, in stage 1 right now we are aiming to the landing zone 1. So if we come here in map, okay, we will see that our impact point it's going backwards directly to landing zone 1. Okay, let's see. So we are here at 2.3 kilometers away horizontally. Okay, now let's go back to oops, let's go back to stage 2. Okay, and stage 2 it's waiting to do another burn now, and we'll come back to that later. Here. So now we will at 160 we have fairing separation, so I advanced here a little bit in time just in order to allow the video not to become really big. And now we also have the consoles of the fairings, so we can check the altitude of the fairings, and later we can check the landings of the fairings. So here we have the altitude of stage 1, and here we have the altitude and speed of stage 2 that of course we are trying to go into orbit. At this moment stage 2 is struggling a little bit to keep to keep the vertical speed, but it will gain time. It's just decreasing a little bit the altitude, but it will recover. So let's go back to... Okay, and this is the fairings that are also doing their work, and we can check here the values of the altitude of both fairings. One of the fairings was ejected upwards and another was ejected downwards. So that's why we have at this moment so big difference in altitude for both fairings. But in the end, both will land more or less at the same time because they will catch up during the atmosphere re-entry. Okay, so let's focus now. 60 kilometers of altitude, time to do the entry burn. So at the entry burn, we are correcting our impact position. Okay, really good. We are at 0.10, so we are 700 meters away horizontally from the landing zone. And with the aerodynamic guidance, which is the phase that it's happening right now, we are correcting here the horizontal distance, and now we are there. So basically we are absolutely vertically to the landing zone 1. Okay, so what you will see also is that okay, stage 2 it's waiting to be active. Basically it's waiting to the apoapsis, and we will check that later. Okay, so we are doing landing just with one engine, um, but SpaceX in the SpaceX team that was configuring the last flight was using 3 engines for the first time in the landing. It was a completely different landing, completely different from all the others. Okay, so here we are now at 40 meters away from center, 30, as you can see, 20, 10 meters away from center, and we are at center. So correcting the horizontal speed, and let's do it. Very slow and nice landing. Okay. The idea here now is observe the horizontal speed that should become almost 0. Okay. And then we can go um, to, like I said, you see they catch up. One is at 1.2, another 1.9. Uh, Here we can advance a little bit in time in order to check the landings. Of course, that in real world, SpaceX teams are collecting the fairings with Mr. Tree and Mr. Steven. Here in Kerbal SpaceX, we don't have those. So for now, I'm just landing into the sea, but that's the idea. So I have a boat over here. It would be collecting both fairings. Okay, do we want phase normal? No. And we want to circularize? Yes, so press 3, circularize, and this is what we will do. So it's just here a little reboot, and here we go towards to apoapsis in order to do the last burn. Okay, so due acceleration, we are now back again to towards to the prograde direction. So if you see here, we are aiming prograde. So now we are in a phase of counting down to the burn. Okay, actually the burn didn't happen. I'll check later what is going on. Okay, I will show to you the. Okay, he considered that we are already in orbit and somehow did abort the circularized maneuver. I will check that later. For now, what we will do is this. So we will stage the satellite. Okay, and the satellite will be deployed and full functional. Of course, in reality, it's not like that, but here for Kerbal Space Program, just in order to show how it happened. Okay, and then of course, stage 2, it's doing the maneuver to retro burn. And here we have the confirmation at console that if you want to the orbit, so yes. So it's doing the final stages. And now we are advancing to the position where we'll do the deburn, which is here about longitude of 100. Countdown for the burn. Okay, and we have the burn, and that's it. So it's, as you can see, it's a very slow burn, and we are entering now in the atmosphere. So I will keep the the stage 2 in the retro burn direction, uh, retro progress direction, and if we will advance in time, so we can assist to the re-entry where everything will explode, of course, during the re-entry, and that it's the idea. So that's why we have this periapsis, and we are at this longitude and at this altitude where we are far away from everything. Um, as you can see, so we will re-enter over there. So we are just advancing a little bit more. It's funny here that the horizontal speed it's increasing, and because of that, the vertical speed it's also um, decreasing because of that. Um, but of course, sooner or later, the aerodynamic effects in the skin, uh, which is happening right now. So we are almost at the peak temperature, and then it starts to explode. In the end, all parts and pieces will explode during this re-entry. Okay, and then we just come back to here. So I hope that you had enjoyed this video to show the latest updates, and I catch you probably in next year. See you.